Hi everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Moves Like Magnus. Now, I just want to introduce this channel. Hopefully each day we're going to be looking at some amazing, beautiful move from an old game, from the professionals. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because, first of all, I absolutely love chess. And I don't always get time to play it these days. I've got two kids, so what I do in the morning normally is I have a look on Facebook and I see some sort of these groups that show like move of the day, and I like to just sort of train my brain by having a look, like thinking, why did they do that? It shows what move they've made, and then sometimes normally I see it, but not every time. And even in the comments, there are a lot of people who can't see why the move was made, and then there's normally some debate, which is brilliant. But what I want to do is I just want to help some of the people that can't see why the move was made by showing it in a visual form, basically. So on this video I can show you why the certain moves were made and why you can't do other moves. So hopefully that will help some people, and obviously you can let me know in the comments if it's at all useful, So anyway, let's have a look at this game from 1973, and it's Andersson versus Hartston, and it's black to move. So just imagine you're black, and what would you do in this situation? So you can pause the video first, and in a few seconds I'll tell you what move was played and why. Okay, so hopefully you've had enough time to pause the video and have a think. Now, the move that was made was Queen to H3, and that's check. Okay. So if you want, you can pause the video again and try to see why that move was made, because it looks like a queen sacrifice, right? Okay, so hopefully you've had enough time to think, and yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful move because obviously the king's protected here. As black has got this square covered, and they just want to lure out the king. So this is brilliant. Now the king has to take, really. Well, it doesn't have to, but I'll show you later what happens if it doesn't. So it's an absolute killer move, this. So if the king takes the queen, we now have this bishop, which can just come to f3, and that is checkmate, game over. Because king can't move to this square because of the knight, that'll be check, and can't move to this square because of the pawn. Can't obviously go back, so game over. Brilliant. Now, what happens if the king doesn't take the queen? Because obviously it doesn't have to. There's 3 squares that the king could move to instead. But ultimately they all lead to checkmate very quickly. So if the king goes to g1, then this queen just goes to f1, and you can see it's protected by the bishop, so king can't take it, and that is checkmate. But there is some other squares the king can go to, so what about f2? Now again, can't go here because the queen just goes to the same place, and that's checkmate again. So there's no squares for the king to move. Now it could go to h1, and obviously if the queen does go to f3, that means this bishop can block check by going there, bishop to g1. Now obviously if the queen takes the bishop, then the king will just take the queen. So there you go. But unfortunately for the white pieces, if the bishop does block, then the queen just has to go to take the pawn out on f3, and there you go, it's checkmate. There's nothing the king can do about that. So what a beautiful move that was. queen sacrifice, because that was pretty much the only good move, really. Like you say, king is quite well protected here, and at first glance it looks like the game's about even. So black pieces are just a pawn down, otherwise it's equal material. Obviously, if the queen went somewhere else, say here for whatever reason, then this bishop is hanging. So at first glance, it looks like kind of an equal position, you know. But yeah, it's not always easy to see the queen sacrifices. But this is a beautiful move, really fantastic. Anyway, I'll end the video there. Keep it short and sweet. Hopefully that's been useful to some people, and I'll see you next time.